All right, I coated myself in 40% DEET, so hopefully that'll keep them at bay until my Thermacell gets fully fired up. And also modified the Thermacell holster to get rid of this little flap that's on the top, because all the time it flaps over the front, and I feel like the Thermacell is not getting enough oxygen or like enough airflow. Oh man, another spider web. And the flame dies out and I have to restart it. So I don't know, it's probably just me, but I got tired of fighting it on my other one that I lost. So had a knife and we cut it off. Already doing better. I can hear the mosquitoes, but I can't feel them landing on me. And the old Thermacell is burning pretty good, so hopefully soon we'll be squared away. It'd be nice if I had a hat that I could swat them with, but like 100 plus hats at home. I did not have a single one in my truck, so that's going to be something that a solution that I solve here pretty quick. I'm going to put out a camera where I hunted a ton, probably too much, and it was before I really understood much at all about wind and thermals and all of that. So we'll see what happens. It's also kind of amazing how much better I've gotten at just walking through the woods and knowing where I need to go. I did it's pretty swampy back here. As you guys may know, Hurricane Debbie came through North Carolina week before last, so all this water is still standing from that. And it's a big swamp that comes behind me here. Their backyard is low, it gets watery a lot. And then this is a ridge system that I'm walking to that then falls back down into another big swamp. So I hunted the ridge a lot. There's a good scrape out here that is pretty big and gets action most of the year. So I don't know why I stopped hunting out here. Well, I do. I found some public land that I really wanted to hunt, and I thought having more space would be better for me. But to be honest, I ended up just hunting the same 40 acres anyways. Last year I moved around a ton, but I didn't find any deer, so that wasn't as useful. But yeah, I'm just rambling on at this point. We may edit all of this in, we may skip a lot of it, but I'm going to walk around a little bit, get the lay of the land, make sure everything still flows the same way I remember, and then I'll get back with you guys when I find a spot where I'm going to put the camera. Alright, so I found the scrape. It's not really fresh and open, but if you look closely you can kind of tell that the leaves are a little bit more are a little bit thinner, kind of in the bowl where the main scrape is. I ended up making a mock scrape here the year I hunted, and had a deer on camera make a new scrape right next to it. Alright, so I was talking a minute ago about this scrape. So you can kind of see here where the bowl is, and then there's tons of licking branches here. You can see this one here still doesn't have any leaves on it. That one either, from last year. There's a tree with licking branch there, and there are a couple of old rubs kind of surrounding this area. I'm gonna put a camera over this. I don't know where, so I've had cameras on that tree, and that tree. So I'm gonna just kind of gauge. I know one of the main trails is that way, and it goes in behind me, but then I know there's another game trail, kind of a main trail, that like cuts over that way somewhere. I've never really, actually it might go that way. The reason I know it's there is because I watched a really nice buck like 10 minutes before shooting light come in, freshen the scrape, and walk out of my life. So I should have the pictures, because my camera was up. I got trail camera pictures from that. I should have those pictures. I'll put those up so you can see what that buck looked like. But It's a pretty good spot. There's a couple of trails that connect. The swamp is back down there. This is a ridge that runs kind of on an angle. There's oaks back there. I mean, there's oaks throughout this, but there's a ton of oaks back in there. There's a good bedding cover up there. The house is there, so there's good bedding cover back in there. The landowner sees deer come out all the time, like right in their backyard. So almost positive and confident the deer are sleeping back there. But there's also a good trail coming from the neighboring property back through here. It's kind of the trail we walked in. I'm gonna put this camera up, freshen the scrape up with the DH3 scrape system, see what happens. I think I'm gonna go back that way and loop and see if I can find a good feed tree to put another camera on. I've got 2 cameras left in my backpack, so we'll be cameraed out at this point, but I've got multiple cameras that I'm gonna move, so I think I'll be good for now, and then if I have to buy more, I'll just buy more. So I'm trying to cast a much wider net this year than I have in the past. Here's the tree I want to put it on, and the scrape is straight back behind me. Got my Edge camera, which I'm really happy about. Love these things. The service out here isn't great, and it comes and goes a lot, it's spotty, so really glad that I've got these because they work with all of the major carriers, all 4, and they'll pick which one's the best. I think this is a pretty good tree. It's a little small, but it is off of the scrape a little bit, and what I'm hoping it'll give me is a better view into where the deer goes after the scrape. So if I start getting deer on camera, I'll just set it on picture mode. Pretty much always over scrapes. I set my cameras on picture mode with no delay and 3 pictures at a time. Just because I like to watch and I like to see what's going on. But if I start getting a lot of pictures, especially pictures of bucks, I will change it to video mode, and then I will I'll download the videos as I see bucks, so I can try to see where they go after this. You know, it's obvious from hunting here a few years ago. I can see both trees I sat in. One's 20 yards from here, one's 30 yards from here, and the bucks were using this regularly during the day. Killed one. I hunted here a lot, but they weren't. I saw one daylight buck here. The other daylight buck I saw was back in the swamp. I want to try to figure out where they go from here. And once I start seeing bucks and getting an idea of direction, then I'll start peppering some cameras in that direction to try to identify kind of where they're going, what trails they're taking, and then I can start to hone my hunt, hone where I go and where I set up, access routes, all of that. So, all right, so just cut it on. We're gonna time how long it takes for it to connect. 30 seconds, connected, ready to roll. Let's go make a scrape. All right, so this is the DH3 scrape system. It'll only be the 2nd time I've tried it. It smells pretty interesting, which is interesting to me because most of the other products smell the same. It's made by a guy that has the Deer Hunter podcast. I really like it. It's a Michigan product, which my home, it's where I'm from. I think he's from northern Michigan, it looks like, based on the star up near Traverse City. So for those of you who aren't as Michigan-ly inclined as me, it's kind of up here in this area. I grew up down here, Kalamazoo. But yeah, so it's a 3-part system. So the first part is education, which I think is pretty interesting. So the first part, you have to know where the deer are going to be, and you have to get that right, because otherwise the scrape system is going to be useless. So that's where the DH3 comes from. And then it's got a full spectrum synthetic urine and a branch catalyst. So let's put this stuff down. That stuff smells pretty good. The branch catalyst, I don't think I ever finished that. So the first part is the education. The second part is the branch catalyst. So this goes on the licking branch. It just basically is a attractant. It doesn't really smell like the forehead glands or anything like that, but it's a way to get the deer interested in and then rubbing their antlers on the branch. And then urine, it's a synthetic urine. It's good for, I guess, getting deer to want to pee in it because it smells like another deer has peed in it already. So we're gonna move that camera I put up now that I'm kind of at, like, I don't know, maybe chest height for a deer. I don't like where that camera is. I think this angled tree is gonna get in my way of seeing deer in the scrape. So we're gonna move it over to this tree over here, and I'll do that really quick, and then we'll move on. When I look back at the pictures, the camera was turned too far, so you couldn't even see the scrape. So I need to tie that strap up. But yeah, we've got the camera behind me. Let's see if you can see it. Yep, camera behind me on that tree right there, like right over my shoulder. And then there's a good runway here. There's a couple good rub trees down that way. There's a good runway down this way. My mock scrape is right here, and then there's a couple of other small rubs. But those small rubs have some good sized branches broken off, so I'm wondering if those were early season, getting some of that early frustration out, or getting rubbing some of that velvet off. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about what I'm seeing. I didn't scout here at all last year. I don't think I even set foot on this property last year. I was so focused on hunting at that public land. But all right, camera's up. It's already sent me a picture, so we'll let that one sit, and we're gonna go check some oak trees and see if we can see any acorns. Might be a little bit early. Honestly, I don't really know, but I've got my binos here, so we're gonna look for some acorns and try to mark some good feed trees. We can maybe try to get an idea of some travel corridors. So you guys are maybe learning along with me. Maybe you're like, man, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. All right, so my GoPro got too hot. Let it cool down for a minute. But what I was saying was I grew up hunting property that my family has been hunting for 50 plus years, and I'm the fourth generation to hunt on it, the third generation to kill a deer up there. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of scouting. I just kind of walked around and walked to the places where my family knew where the deer were and found what had the best sign and sat there. I didn't have to find sign. I didn't have to find travel corridors. Also, up there for the longest time, if you saw a buck, you should shoot it, because they weren't very common. Some antler point restriction stuff and a couple of other things have really helped the deer population up there a lot, and we've got some really nice deer on camera. So our standards have gone up significantly. But yeah, so that's how I grew up hunting. Loved it. I miss it like crazy. But cutting my teeth down here, trying to learn a new habitat, new ecosystem, new types of deer. Just it's been a grind. I've killed deer 2 years in a row, which I need to be happier about than I am. I had a 2-year stretch where I got on some really good bucks, and I had opportunities at really good bucks. Had my bow in hand on 2 of the 3 really good ones, but just never got a shot. So that's kind of how, at this point in time, this year, success is going to be a couple of different things. It'll either be I kill a nice buck, or I get an opportunity at a nice buck and something happens. Even if I screw the opportunity up, getting that opportunity is going to be half of my battle, or most of my battle this year. I need to get back on some good deer, and I need to be, I don't know, I think I was almost too hardcore last year, to where I didn't spend enough time kind of learning certain areas. I was bouncing way too much, and so this year I need to do a better job of finding more. But I'm really happy with that camera setup. I think we'll be in business here and within the next couple weeks, especially as the deer start to transition. It's mid-August right now, as the deer start to transition to their fall ranges from their summer ranges. I think we'll be in good shape. So, all right, talk to you guys in a little while, or sooner if I find anything cool. I found a bunch of white oak trees. I mean, there's oak trees all throughout here, which was awesome. Wasn't able to really tell or see. It's pretty thick up there. Wasn't able to really see what kind of acorn year it's going to be, at least on this property. So we'll come back in a couple weeks and check that out. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of walking the edge of this swampy area where it's soft, and trying to see where the deer may be crossing it, just to try to add another piece to the puzzle. I'm pretty excited actually about what I saw. I mean, I've only been here for less than an hour, but it took me over an hour and almost an hour and a half to get to where I put that one camera, where that first camera a couple weeks ago, where all those really big rub trees were. And I don't know if I'll even get anything on it. So being here, I've got some history with here. I've got some trail camera data history with here, so I can hopefully get a better idea of what's going on, where the deer are, and hopefully get some good deer on camera. But if not, we'll just move some trail camera. So I'm gonna slosh through the swamp, probably kick up another 10,000 mosquitoes, but I'm gonna get back to my truck. Surprise, I decided I didn't really want to wait to come out here and move this camera since I was just a couple minutes away, so we're going to go move it. Obviously I don't have my backpack or anything. I'm just gonna walk out here, move the camera, and walk back to my truck so I can get home. I've got a lot of stuff to get done before the week starts, and honestly I probably have some work that I have to do to get rolling. So golf ball. God, across the street must be a golf ball. Oh. No, don't hit the tree. Alright, so intentionally went way off the beaten path, following a couple of good deer trails. And now I'm in some real thick stuff, but trying to figure out where the deer are traveling through here. I think it's still early enough. Anything I blow out of here will be back. For those of you who were following along, a giant spider friend is still here, and still, oh, it's moving. About the size of the palm of my hand. I'm still not super thrilled about it. So I'm gonna move around it very far. Let's go get my camera. We're gonna get out of here. The reason I'm getting this camera is it's been up for 8 days and I haven't had a single deer picture. I had one raccoon come walking through. And I really think, now that I've walked through kind of that way, I think it's just because they're using that edge. Or that edge. I don't know if you can see me. I'm trying to spot mosquitoes at the same time as I'm talking with my hands. But yeah, we're gonna grab that camera, move it down, and should be good to go. All right, we got our camera, and this is kind of behind me is one of the other clearings. The other one is kind of on the other edge of that thick stuff. And there's a double ladder stand right up here. I think if we were to, if someone were to sit in that double ladder stand, there's a chance they may catch something coming through the edge over there. It's probably too late this year, but I think if we did some clearing to be able to see further in there, it'd be a pretty good rifle spot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this trail here. Actually, there's another trail over here I could do. I'm going to take one of these two trails back towards where I just saw those really big trails that I think are deer trails. Positive they're deer trails. Set the camera up at an intersection of one of those. I think I see a rub tree from here, so it's another good sign. Maybe just barely out of it. So just gotta keep moving these cameras around and until we can find what we need to find. I'm gonna hopefully get out to that public land next weekend. Saturday morning. I was supposed to travel for work this week, but I'm not anymore, so I can get out. It wasn't a rub tree, it was a sun. But I can get out and try to move those cameras out of that public land I put up a couple weeks ago, because those aren't really performing, or one of the two isn't performing like I'd like. One of them has a doe on it regularly, and it's in a spot that I think is going to be really good in the rut, so I'm going to leave it. But the other one isn't doing anything. It got really flooded in there. Had a duck swim past the camera at one point. So I'm going to move that somewhere. I think I've got an idea, but I'm not positive, so be a game time decision. All right, let's get some walking and see if we can't find out where we need to put this camera up. All right, so we've looped back around to this little bit of an opening, but there's a good trail going behind me. There's a good trail back that way. So there's a good crossing right here. So I'm going to put a camera on a tree and might put down a mock scrape. I may just let it ride. I don't really know. Probably going to put down a mock scrape. I just like putting down mock scrapes. They seem to get the deer to stop a little bit, and you might get a little bit more visibility to to what you're looking at, but I want the camera to be facing kind of out into this opening to catch the deer coming through the crossing. So I don't know, we'll see. I think I'm gonna put it, there's this big tree, and then there's a smaller tree next to it that I may put it on, just so I can get this whole area. I think that's probably my best bet. So set it up and get out of here. All right, so nothing special. Got the camera on the tree right there, facing out. You can see right there, right? Man, that's hard to do in back. Reverse right there. I scraped some dirt away. I'm not really, with that, I'm not trying to bring any deer in specifically. Like I don't think it's gonna bring deer in from a country mile to here in order to smell the scrape. But what I wanted to do is, you know, maybe it'll, if a deer is running on this trail, maybe it'll stop and they'll check it out, give me a chance to get some better pictures, especially if it's a buck. And then if they're running this trail, the trail that's perpendicular to the one that the mock scrape is on, maybe they'll stop and they'll get a whiff and they'll go check it out. I don't know, we'll see. I think it's in a pretty good spot. I think we're likely to see deer here. It's really secluded. It's pretty thick on both sides of this little itty bitty clearing. And the best part is I think there are some trees I can hunt from back behind me, or even in kind of all along this trail area. Try to get some deer pictures, and if there's nothing here, move it again. We'll just keep moving around until we either have tried everywhere or we find some deer. Thanks for watching. We'll do it for this video. I'm gonna walk out of here and get home. Like I said, I was going to at what I thought was gonna be the end of this video, so a little bit of bonus content. All right, catch you guys on the flippity flop. Talk to you later.